Good morning, dear viewers. Today I'm just going to discuss about a particular textual content from class 8 syllabus, A King's Tale, third unit, page number 64. First I'm reading that kinds of text and what are the meaning behind the lines. I will also equivocally explain it. I think that if you listen that kinds of audio video clip, you will be very much beneficial to hear it. So go on listening, and you don't have to require any other extra assessment. Okay. This is an Excalibur. Merlin said, "Only an honest and fearless knight who protects the common people can possess this sword." Here, Excalibur is the kind of sword name. So Merlin was the counselor of the king, Uthar Pendragon. So he told it. Only the people who are very honest and fearless could able to protect that common people can have the power to possess it, to accept it. Other people don't have the power to accept it. That's the meaning of that line. King Arthur accepted the enchanted sword from the mysterious hand appearing from the depth of the lake. King Arthur then took that enchanted sword from mysterious hands. A hand appeared mysteriously, that is called mysterious hand. Where it is coming? Where it came from the dark depth of the lake. I shall never use this magic sword for any personal benefit, King Arthur declared. Arthur was very much honest king. Because he told that he would able to accept that Excalibur, so he would never use that kind of sword for personal benefit. Many other kings may develop a kind of cherished desire that as he got that kind of Excalibur, so he could able to use that kind of sword by his personal benefit. But actually Arthur was quite different to some extent. King Arthur could give peace and prosperity to England. The greedy barons were unhappy with the King Arthur because he was gentle and just. Just means precious. So King Arthur was a very noble king. Therefore, other greedy barons means noblemen, were very unhappy because they like something they dislike. They dislike this noble quality, like the gentle and just. He married the beautiful lady Guinevere, daughter of the King Cornwall. King Arthur married the beautiful lady Guinevere. She was the daughter of the King of Cornwall. On the wedding day, Merlin took to a rich gilded pavilion painted crimson and dark blue. On the wedding day of King Arthur's marriage, Merlin took him to a richly gilded pavilion. Merlin took Arthur to a pavilion painted in crimson and dark blue. It was painted in a dark red color and dark blue color. The floor was marble. In the middle of the room was a huge round oak table richly carved, capable of seating 50 people. There was a famous round table around which gathered King Arthur's devoted knights. These knights, so here a particular possible questions may arise that what is described about that kind of table. So you have to explain in that way. It was such a kind of table. Merlin already took him and it was richly gilded pavilion painted with crimson and dark blue, and the floor was marble. In the middle of the room was a huge round oak table, richly carved. It was richly carved. It had the capability of seating 50 people, and this was the famous round table, and around which gathered King Arthur's devoted knights. So all these lines you have to tell it. And what about the knights? The knights who are used to sit in that circling down that kind of table. So what was this? What was their qualities? What was their motive? These knights promised that they would help the helpless, be gentle to the weak, and punish the wicked. The knights has very much virtuous qualities, like they would be very much helpful, and they would be very much kind and sympathetic to the weak people, and they would equivocally strong enough to punish the wicked people or the dishonest people. To keep their vows means promise, the knights undertook countless hazardous adventures. So, to accept that kinds of courageous work, the knight had to take the different kinds of dangerous risky walks. The stories of their goodness and kindness spread throughout the country. They are so much very good and noble fellow that their story already spread all over the country. King Arthur ruled for many years and grew old with times. King Arthur ruled for many years, and as far the nature's rule is concerned, he also became very much grew old. Many of his trusted knights had perished during their adventures. King Arthur ruled for many years and grew old with time. Many of his trusted knights had perished during their adventure. To make the adventurous works something in life may be a kind of risky. So some of the knights has already died. Perished means died by performing that kinds of adventurous works, means risky works, dangerous works. If he would not do that kinds of, if the knights would not do that kinds of dangerous works, it is not possible to fight with that kinds of other opponent one. That's why they always have to connect it with that kinds of adventurous works and the risky works. The king gave his magic sword, the Excalibur, to a trusted king. The king had already given that kinds of magic sword. Sword name is called Excalibur. That is the name, to a trusted king. Trusted means the most believed knight. The king had already offered that kinds of king. For now we will understand what's the reason being of offering that kinds of king Excalibur to a trusted knight by King Arthur. At the king's command, the knight threw the sword into the lake, and amid the plain of sweet-smelling flowers, a beautiful arm arose from the lake, caught the sword, and disappeared into the green depth of water. Here, by the king's knight, King Arthur's command, a knight threw the Excalibur, the sword, to a sweet-smelling lake, lake, flowers of lake, and from there a beautiful arm, means hand of the arm, appeared and accepted that sword Excalibur, and it also disappeared. That beautiful arm with the sword Excalibur disappeared into the green depth of the water. The knight came back and told the king what had happened. The king smiled. The King Arthur smiled. Knight already, after coming here to King Arthur, knight exaggerated that what exact incident already happened when he threw that sword Excalibur to the lake of sweet-smelling flower. Knight vividly narrated that kind of incident to King Arthur, and Arthur, very after hearing that kind of story, Arthur smiled. He understood something. He instructed, what did he understand and what is the action after the understanding dawned over him. He instructed his people to put him on a boat. Boat means like a boat. He also instructed his people, he means the King Arthur instructed his people to put him on a boat. What's the time? The time was, you will see later, the setting sun, when the sun is going to set at the particular period of the time. It was the hour of twilight. Twilight means it is such a kind of time when the sun's light had already sun is already sink beyond the horizon, and its light remains for few minutes in the earth. So this particular period is being considered as the twilight. Sun already sank beyond the horizon, and it's not evening. Before evening, few times left. Very short period of the times left. It was from the light of the sun to come to the earth from the sun. So much time it takes. So that is called twilight. He instructed his people to put him on a verge. It was the hour of twilight. In the time of twilight, he instructed his people to put him on a boat like birch, with tearful eyes. Why tearful eyes? Because the king was really very noble, generous, sympathetic. His heart cried for the other people. So with tearful eyes, he could able to collect all that kinds of all loves and sympathy from the all people. So with the tearful eyes, when the king was going to take goodbye, every people with tearful eyes, everyone bid goodbye to the old King Arthur, because the Arthur already became old by the crucial blow of time. Time had aged him, and it happened for everybody. Everybody bid goodbye to the old king as the birds sailed with him towards the setting sun. It's a very perfect line. Everybody bid goodbye to the old king. Everybody gathered and bid goodbye to the old King Arthur as the birds sailed with him towards the setting sun. The sun was going to set, and the birds started sailing, taking old King Arthur. Here, the author very carefully chosen the line. Sun is going to set, means it's a going to have a ending of a day. Simultaneously, it's a going to have an ending of a special period of the time which was ruled by King Arthur. So both are having an end of an era done by Arthur with very peaceful states, without making his countrymen understand even a single unhappiness. He fought for his best efforts and only to provide peace to his countrymen, fellow men. That's why, as an end of an era by King Arthur was happening, simultaneously the end of the day setting by the sun. You can also tell in reverse way, as the setting of a sun is concerned, in that very specific period of the time, equivocally, when Arthur's life is going to come an end, like the sun setting, he is also making a kind of journey by the verge towards unknown destiny. That it is sure, it is destined that he would die. That's why he surrendered his life. He understood that he does not have any requirement, because he becomes old, and he surrenders his power. Other people would be there, other king would be there and accepted the power and saved his countrymen, their countrymen. Okay, thank you. I have already explained that kind of third unit topic. If you have any kinds of comment questions, you can do able to ask to me. I will solve the problems.